Trump's Greenland, Canada, and Panama Canal comments. What's really happening? Donald Trump is back in the headlines, and this time he's talking about buying Greenland, hinting at Canada, and expressing interest in the Panama Canal. Trump's latest social media posts and public remarks have sparked curiosity and controversy. But is this just another bold claim, or could there be a deeper strategy behind it? Let's dive into what Trump said, why it matters, and how the world is responding. In a series of posts and interviews, Trump revived his 2019 plan to purchase Greenland, calling it a strategic asset for the U.S. He even suggested Canada might be a future acquisition and mentioned the importance of the Panama Canal. Denmark quickly rejected the idea of selling Greenland when Trump first proposed it, calling it absurd. But Trump hasn't let go of the concept. Regarding Canada, Trump jokingly referred to the country as a 51st state, stirring the pot with trade war threats. Trump also expressed interest in greater U.S. control over the Panama Canal, citing its vital role in global trade and concerns over Chinese influence in the region. These comments reflect Trump's habit of using bold statements to shift focus and create headlines. But is there more to it than meets the eye? Some political insiders believe Trump's rhetoric is designed to appeal to his voter base by promoting ideas of U.S. dominance and economic expansion. Greenland isn't just ice. It's rich in minerals, natural resources, and occupies a strategic military location in the Arctic. Experts say owning Greenland could strengthen U.S. influence in the Arctic, where Russia and China are expanding their presence. Trump framed the idea as a national security and economic opportunity, emphasizing Greenland's untapped resources. While Denmark dismissed the proposal, the U.S. has continued expanding military cooperation with Greenland. Recent military exercises and investments in Arctic infrastructure demonstrate that the U.S. views Greenland as a valuable ally, even without ownership. But why Canada? Trump's references to Canada as the 51st state were likely meant to highlight trade tensions between the two nations. Canada's vast oil reserves, natural resources, and proximity to the U.S. make it an essential partner, but also a target for trade disputes. Trump's past actions, such as renegotiating NAFTA, reflect his willingness to use economic leverage to push for favorable terms. While the 51st state comment was likely hyperbole, the underlying message about trade and tariffs is very real. With the U.S. election cycle heating up, Trump's comments on Canada might also reflect a desire to reshape U.S.-Canada trade relations once again. Trump's comments on the Panama Canal reflect broader concerns about Chinese investment and control over global shipping lanes. The Panama Canal is one of the most vital trade routes, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Greater U.S. influence over the canal would enhance naval and trade dominance. Trump's interest in the canal aligns with his focus on economic nationalism and countering foreign influence in critical infrastructure. Analysts point out that Chinese companies have been increasing their investments in the canal, a move that has raised eyebrows in Washington. Some experts believe Trump's remarks could lead to renewed diplomatic discussions over Panama's role in international trade and U.S. influence in the region. Experts suggest that Trump's comments reflect broader geopolitical ambitions. Owning Greenland would give the U.S. control over valuable Arctic routes and resources. Some analysts believe Trump's rhetoric is a form of economic posturing, aimed at reinforcing his America First policy. Others argue that while Trump may not literally believe Canada or the canal could become part of the U.S., his comments highlight growing tensions over trade and border security. Political commentators note that Trump's ability to shape the conversation and dominate news cycles with bold statements keeps him at the center of public discourse. Denmark has repeatedly dismissed the Greenland proposal, emphasizing that the island is not for sale. Meanwhile, Canada's official response to Trump's remarks has been muted. Trudeau's administration prefers to focus on maintaining trade stability rather than engaging in public disputes. Panama's government has issued firm statements affirming control over the canal, signaling that the canal's sovereignty is not up for negotiation. Historically, the U.S. has expanded territory through purchases, from Alaska to the Louisiana Territory. Trump's Greenland and Panama Canal proposals echo past efforts to secure land and infrastructure for economic and strategic reasons. However, Canada's deep ties with the U.S. and Panama's sovereignty make these ambitions far more complex. So, what do you think? Is Trump serious about Greenland, Canada, and the Panama Canal? Or is this just more political theater? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going. And don't forget, Hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into global politics. Stay tuned for our next video. Follow us for real-time updates and breaking news.